Oh, it was not, sorry. I would like to welcome our newest board member, Kiki Baxter. Kiki, would you like to briefly introduce yourself? A few seconds.
There we go. I'm on the air. Good morning. I'm Kiki. I am a Highland Beach resident for about, I want to say 9 years. I moved back to South Florida about a year ago and just excited and enthusiastic to get involved. I'm an active volunteer with Florida Fish and Wildlife. And hey, good morning. And I think that's about it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, next action item is the roll call. Mrs. DeHart, please call the roll.
Member Baxter,
Here.
Member Jones,
Here.
Member Newman, Vice Chairperson Schreiber,
Here.
Chairperson Nessel.
Here.
Okay, and Alan Bloomberg is absent. Thank you.
Thank you. So we come to the agenda item number 3, Pledge of Allegiance. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now we come to the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented? Is
I'll make a motion.
there a second? Second. All in favor say yes?
Yes.
Yes, great. Any opposed say no? Okay, great. So we can approve the agenda. Agenda item number 5 is public comments. This is limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Do we have any public comments? Yeah, at the very end.
Thank you. Sorry.
No. Oops, are you okay? So we do not seem to have any public comments. We can then move to presentations. Agenda item number 6, I refer the town planner update item to Ms. Allen.
Hi, good morning, everybody. For the record, Ingrid Allen, Town Planner. So I just wanted to start with some not so much questions, but some items that were brought up at the May 7th meeting. I just wanted to follow up with the board, even though I did send you an email back on May 8th. Just to recap, the board requested an email from the Penthouse Towers invite for their Dune restoration event. I had mentioned at the last meeting, which was on May 7th, again, that the property manager, Lane Prentice, was the one that, created the invite. So the board had requested at that May 7th meeting that you wanted that invite. And you also wanted a copy of the November 2024 event invite that was regarding the town's beach restoration study, specifically the beachfront property evaluation. So I emailed those to the board on May 8th. I did also want to advise the board that the town is going to have 2 events. We're going to have the famous Mingle Jingle event that will be held on December 4th. There's going to be a smaller event on October 23rd. So if you want to mark your calendars, those events will be held 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. and both events will be held at the church. Now, I've already reached out to the town manager's office to advise them that you all would like to have a table because I know you've had a table at all the other events here. So that won't be a problem. I can send you all an email, and I believe the last Mingle Jingle event, I had sent you all an email with the contact at the town manager's office for any questions that you may have about the events. Madison is managing these events, and I'll be happy to give you her contact information. Again, I'll send you all an email. But again, you might want to mark your calendars. Again, it's October 23rd, which is the smaller event. And then the the larger event where you'll see more vendors and things like that at the December 4th Mingle Jingle. And that's, oh, I just had one more quick thing. I know that you all are going to be talking about the bucket trees. I just thought I'd route a article that was presented. A lot of the members on the board today may have not been around in 2021, but I have a copy of the manager's minute from 2021 May, and there was a full page article, if you wish, about the bucket trees. That's really when we started the whole initiative. So I'll just route that if you want to just take a look at it and pass it around. It's just more of a FYI for the board. And that's pretty much all of my update. Thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
The first event does it have a theme or anything on October 23rd?
I have not been advised of a theme.
Okay.
I'll be happy to, touch base with Madison. She didn't advise me of one, but when I send all of you the email with her contact information, I could ask her if there's any particular theme.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they had one last year, but
It's just the food truck.
yeah, I think it's going to be similar to the smaller Mingle Jingle type of event. Yeah, I'll reach out to her again. If there's any more details she can give me, I'll be happy to include in the email. But
Thank you.
yeah.
Great. So thank you so much, Town Planner Allen. So we come to agenda item number 7, approval of minutes. So the last meeting was on May 7th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
Okay.
Where is- Oh, yes.
I made the motion.
All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All opposed, say no. Great. So this has passed. So then we go back to public comments, 3 minutes. Welcome our former member, please.
Hello, everybody. This is Chris Villegas, formerly from 3407 South Ocean Boulevard. And I just wanted to come and watch your last meeting that I unfortunately missed because our unit sold on Friday. And so I am no longer a resident in Highland Beach, but I wanted to tell you, it's been a real honor and a pleasure to work with all of you. You are really engaged. And we're having some successes. I got a call from Villa Magna. They're putting in their sea oats this winter. And so the lists that you have, and I think, Barbara, you've got my list of people that I contacted, maybe that could get assigned out. But the managers are very interested in sea oats and what they can do to put them in of the condo buildings. So that's some information I was going to share today, is that this is a real opportunity to push. None of them knew about natural resources and this Dune program, even though Ingrid has sent out many notices and it's been in the magazine. It just shows you how unengaged, but they were very surprised at how cost effective it could be. So I just thought I'd share that today, and that don't get discouraged. And if you need help at one of your functions to set up, I'm happy to come over. I'm a mile down the road in a different town. But anyway, my pleasure. Thank you all. And I'll be here. I'm going to stay till the end.
It was great having you, Chris.
Congratulations on the sale, and we'll miss you.
Likewise.
Yeah, thank you so much, Keith, for everything you've done for this commission or for this board, advisory board. You've been absolutely very, very helpful and absolutely critical. So I don't know if it's allowed that we would accept your offer to help in events. This is something I need to pass to Town Planner Allen, if we have a table to staff, if Chris Villegas could just help us as a resident.
I'm not quite sure. I could check with the town manager on that. I don't know that it would be an issue.
If natural resources invites them.
Yeah.
maybe. Anyway. it's
I don't,
just a
I don't know that it would be an issue. I just run it by the
Yeah.
town manager. I could advise you via email.
Okay,
I don't think it
thank
would
you.
be
I
a concern.
appreciate
My pen. Yeah, so I think that would be great if you could clarify that, because if you're available, on October 23rd, I think the date was, let me quickly check. October 23rd, there's a smaller event, a Mingle Chingo at the church, and then the big usual yearly Mingle Chingo is on December 4th. Obviously, you know everything so well, and it would be great to have you at the table if it's allowed. We would obviously invite you, whatever the formalities are, to get that done would be great. Okay, so then we come back to unfinished business. Pencil, I'm so sorry. Oh, thank you. Take notes, so I'm a note-taking person. Great. So then we come to agenda item number 8, unfinished business. Subtopic future dune restoration and management, dune management related events. So we've already mentioned the town events of October 23 and December 4. They're not on the agenda, but I think we should just probably have a brief discussion whether people are available, at what time. And we're probably just going to do the usual thing that we bring our leaflets, we can bring decoration, we need to obviously be present to speak to people. And I think the word of mouth is our most powerful mean to educate the public.
This is only in
October 23rd at 5 to 8 p.m. and December 4.
I had an idea because I feel like the last event, people stopped by, but I don't think it was that effective. And I had a suggestion, which would be to have a raffle of some kind or basically it would be a contest and there would be 3 or 4 questions. And whoever participated would be in the raffle and they could win like a meal or something. So we get a donation. And basically the questions would be about the dunes. So you could ask them, what is the best way to protect? And they have a multiple choice.
So like a mini quiz, like in
Like a
school.
mini quiz,
Yeah, I
right,
think that's
right.
great.
And so I think that if you say a free lunch at Flanagan's or whatever, you know, whatever to get people's attention, because people just kind of walk by our booth and they can have a 3 or 4 questionnaire because we're educating the public when they say, well, I didn't know that sea grapes aren't the best thing for the dunes, or I didn't know that sea oats are great for the dunes, or I didn't know that you can't put your chairs right on top of the dune, you know, and start to educate the public in a way that would be useful and get some interest. Just a suggestion for
I personally like the idea. The other,
I second it. Yeah, it's great.
I think it's a great idea. The question is, I agree with you. It needs to be a raffle. There needs to be a dinner or something.
get the attention.
And I mean, I'm in touch with the hotel here anyway. So I could ask them whether they want to sponsor a dinner for 2, maybe in the value of, I don't know, $60 or something. I don't know whether they want to advertise. Usually the restaurant's full. It doesn't look like they need marketing.
I could also do something. I could ask my nephew if he'd want to give a dinner for 2 at Bluffs.
That
Fish
would-
House. We'll both try. If we succeed,
I'm
we'll
afraid the
have
next-
prize.
I could work on some questions.
That's great. Why don't you ask him first? Because I'm pretty
The
sure,
information, yeah.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure they really don't need to advertise because they're already full.
Then we need a sign so people would see, raffle, free raffle or something for dinner at such and such, and then it'd be something they could just fill out while they're there. Oh, about the dunes, yeah. I don't understand why you can't step on the grass. It's just grass, you know. People don't really, they want to walk through it, they want to step on it, they want to put their lawn, they want to put the chairs on it, etc. So it seems like
So is your nephew's restaurant near Highland Beach?
Palmetto Park Road.
So it's very, very
It's
near.
Boca Raton.
So for him, it's good advertising. So he might be
Yeah,
interested.
I mean, not that they need it, but yeah, I'll do it as a, you know,
As a,
a write-off or whatever, yeah.
Mhm.
Sure, I'll ask. You know, They
And
can only
so-
say no to me.
And who wins the prize? Do you have to have every answer right? Do you accept B students or do they have to be A students with every answer
Well,
correct?
if they have the answers right, they get a chance to put their, their ticket
right.
in a
Oh,
ball.
I get it. So the answers have to be all correct.
Correct.
And then they go into, got it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's great.
That's a good way to do it. yeah.
Yes.
That's
And then
like-
just
Yeah,
pick their
possible.
name out of a
Pick the name.
fishbowl or whatever, once, with the people who have the correct answers.
There probably won't be too many people with the correct answer.
So then we need a bucket. We need the questions, right?
We need questions printed on some kind of
Probably a
small
coffee.
piece of
probably
paper.
A coffee, thing. I don't think a big bucket.
Just something, yeah, to put it
Yeah,
in.
you get like a fishbowl or a vase or something,
So how do we want to prepare the questions and how many questions do we want? Do we want 10 questions to make it a little harder?
No, 3 is.
I think 3 to 5.
3 questions?
Yeah.
Anybody agree on the magic number 3?
3 to 5, I mean, if we come up with something,
3 is good, you're gonna.
And what we're going to do is they're going to fill it in right there, no use of a phone, no AI.
no AI, right?
So they have to do it right there. We give them 1 minute. We're watching.
Let them use AI, let them use AI.
No, 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 no. That's,
But they can-
yeah, I will answer
they
it
get into
correctly.
it.
Well, I don't care what they do, but just do it in front of us and then,
And no
they'll get a
phones.
chance to win if they're correct.
Yeah. yeah.
Great.
Okay.
So that's a fantastic idea.
No
So
way.
how do we want to do it with the questions? Do we just all want to send some questions to Miss Allen or do we want to brainstorm the question now and have a final?
Let's
question,
let's
please?
do it now and get it.
Yeah, let's get it over with, because
Okay. So
you could chime in if you have a good question, Chris. You know a lot about this.
what I realized driving on the ocean. Yeah. Yeah.
I always have to disrupt a little bit.
Read your lips.
But what strikes me most driving on the A1A is how much Brazilian pepper and just other plants that we know are bad and they're going to completely grow over everything. And I think that's the best education is like almost like a multiple choice, like which plants do you want to see? So say sea oats are okay, but also not great. And which plants are definitely not good. And then we can have scavola and Brazilian pepper would be on the no-go list, for
Mm.
example. And then people would have to know that. And we also have to obviously give them a picture because otherwise who knows what scavola is or Brazilian pepper unless you're on this commission or really into dunes. So we have to show them pictures and say which plant is good and bad and like multiple choice. And if they got all the plants correct, then question number 1 isn't correctly answered. Because I think that's really what I want people to learn. And it's a fun way of learning it.
Well, I think you could put the names and say good or bad, and then they have to circle the answer.
Yes, exactly.
That could be one question.
Yes, I think that's great.
That could be the whole thing, for that matter, but
Do we agree that that is one question with like multiple choice, good and bad? And then you have to tick.
What about native versus non-native? Use some more technical language.
Some of the native plants are not good. And the worst or the best example is the sea grapes that we have. They're native Florida plants, but they come from the north. They're not really, they just grow really well here, but they're not from Southeast Florida, but they're okay. They're native Florida plants, but they really don't belong as a first line on the dunes. They belong to the back of the dunes. So the way Delray Beach has restored their dunes, that's excellent because they have the sea grapes further back. And then they have more the sea oats and all the other like creepers, like the ones we planted at our condo. They have planted them more in front. But this is getting very sophisticated. For that, you already have to know a little bit more. So I think just good and bad plants. We can then talk to them about native and non-native plants.
Yeah, we have
But
to
I-
make it a little simple.
Simple, yeah.
And
Yeah, maybe the first question being more simple, because otherwise you won't.
You're
get
gonna lose them.
engaged.
you're gonna lose it, right? This is never mind, yeah.
Yeah, the first question, as simple as possible, to keep them engaged.
Right.
Sounds good. So we have the first question. We can obviously prepare. I mean, we can't work together. But I think the good and bad plans, we can take it from the presentation we had, that we have online.
I mean, that could almost be the whole quiz, good and bad plans. And I mean, really, because we're getting a little,
Well,
yeah.
I don't even know what, I think we ought to get even more basic. Because I don't even know that people even realize how important the dunes are. So maybe why we want to preserve the sand dunes. What is you could ask the question, why are the sand dunes so important? And then they have it could be all the answers could be yes, or maybe one of them is wrong. Like what is the importance of the.
But they know
the
that.
sand-
I think
healthy
people
sand
know
dunes?
that, right? People know
Yeah.
why sand dunes
I hope so.
cannot erode. I mean, we don't need to lecture them the basics. I think it's really, people know they want to do something. They're just worried that it costs them so much money. People are not aware what's good and bad. That's why I think this is an important question. And also people don't know how little, and I'll come to that when we talk about the condos later. They are shocked when I tell them, you can do this for a few $1,000s. They're like, oh my God, we're going to do this. They think it's $100,000 project. So that's the key messages I think we need to teach them. Like these plants cost $1 to $1.50 in wholesale, each CO. And they're literally planted this quick. You make a hole, put some fertilizer in, put the plant in, water it, done. Each plant takes 20 seconds.
Actually, the seeds cost about a penny, because I bought a package of seeds.
You can even buy the seeds if you have time to grow them and everything. But
It's a longer process.
I think like the second question is a funny question. What do you think do 500 COs cost? And the answer is whatever the market price.
When you say how much does 100
Yeah, but
plants
nobody's,
cost, and then they can have $100, $10, $1,000, whatever.
So we can say, yeah, the answer can be $500, which is the correct answer. Obviously, I will have to check the price as of the day, but roughly it's $1.50. So it's a little more than 700 something dollars.
you could say, what is the approximate price of planting 500 COs?
Exactly. And then it's $500, 5,000 and 50,000.
You could put the answers there. Yeah.
And people will be shocked how cheap it is. And I think that's the message you want to give them. Hey, you
Yes.
can do this cheaply.
That should be the second question. Yeah.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
three choices. They could say $100, $1,000, whatever the actual answer is, and then one below and one above.
And 500 COs is a good number because that's what you need, depending on the
Mhm.
size of your property, but you probably need about 500 to get started.
Right.
And that's a good number. And then we can say $5,000, 50,000 or 500,000. No, 500 is too much.
Yeah, no.
100,000, 5,000, 50, 150, or what shall we use?
75,000. Just throw that number in there.
75,000.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to make it even more expensive because people probably think it's 150,000.
No.
We could figure out the number. Just, yeah, but that's a good second question.
Yeah, that-
So 550 and 75,000. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Third question. And last.
I'd like to separate what we do with the turtle. Can we do that in a question? Is the beach preservation committee concerned only with turtles? But that's my colleague think.
I
We're not concerned with turtles because we're not the turtle.
Yeah, but he's saying his colleagues think that that's what we do.
We know we do.
So I don't quite understand your question. Sorry.
What is our main role?
Oh, our main role.
Yes, of the
Oh,
next,
we ask them.
yes, what is
Oh.
the role?
Are we concerned with blah, blah, blah? Turtle, yeah.
Mhm.
Saving the sea turtles, saving the shoreline, you know,
Yeah,
saving,
beach from-
saving the planet. I don't
I thought
know.
it was preserving the natural resources.
But then it's
Right.
Then
above.
I've
If
told
it's-
them
Yeah.
that's not our purpose. It's,
That sounds like a driver's license test, like the all of the above and
Yeah.
all of the above. It's always obvious that the answer is obvious.
Well,
Well, I would like it a little bit more tough.
I'm thinking.
No, but it's a quiz and you're trying to make them aware. So, I mean, it might be a cute last question, like,
Yeah.
and just put all of the above, or, it might be cute.
Yeah, and
People might just circle, yeah, saving the sea turtle.
at the end of the day, we want them to be happy to be able to put their name in the bucket. It's
Right.
just one being chosen anyways at the end of the day.
You know, the thing is that the name isn't gonna go in, we don't wanna make it too tough for them.
No.
They won't get it.
No,
It's just,
They have committees,
engage,
script-
get them to
script-
engage with you.
right,
You
exactly.
know, and get them
Yeah,
talking.
yeah.
So I mean, it's just a fun question to end it with.
So what would the question be? How would you word it?
What does the Natural Resources Committee do?
Hi-
What is their
Hi-
role?
The Highland Beach.
Yeah.
Natural resource.
And we could always end it with, can we contact you about being on the committee?
Then they'll throw the whole thing away.
And so what are the possible answers?
Save the sea turtle.
Safety, I love that, yeah. That's
May I interject? Keep in mind, the board, you have powers and duties, right, in section 2-140 of the code. I know you've all gotten copies of that when you became board members. So you have, a certain parameter of items that you can discuss and are responsible for. So I could go over them if you want.
No, I think this is great, but the people, this is what we asked for the
We
rest.
ask the people.
They don't know the section, whatever.
Right.
They don't.
But you want to stay within your parameters. If you're going to have people answer, you need to know what your
But that's the wrong
parameters are.
answer. Save the sea turtles is the wrong answer.
Okay.
So that would be the wrong answer.
That's
And then
wrong.
the correct answer, actually, we could make this fun, is section,
Yeah.
exactly, that is fun, right? Shall we do that? Because it's an obvious answer. It's described, a C section, whatever.
Well, you could have copies of it at the table to see what your responsibilities are, so they could look at it. But
You want to read them briefly?
sure. So it says here, the powers and duties of the Natural Resource Preservation Advisory Board shall include the following: coordinate activities related to regular beach cleanup events, which, as a board know, are difficult because we have all private beaches here, and I know you'll be talking about that possibly later. Assist the Sea Turtle Program with activities related to the programs and recruitment of volunteers. Review existing and proposed town ordinances which affect the environment, advise the town commission regarding the need for modifications or changes to such ordinances. Assist in the effort to encourage homeowners and associations to keep adequate levels of vegetation on the beach in order to avoid erosion. Promoting green landscaping and advocating environmental concerns relating to plastics, etc. Make recommendations about regulations relating to beach cleaning as the board sees fit. Assist the town commission upon the commission requests with items and issues related to waterways within the corporate limits of the town, including boat wakes, manatee protection, and mangroves, and then perform other reviews as assigned or requested by the town commission. Those are your powers and duties.
Okay.
So we could just list all of them and then one, and.
Yeah,
we could-
it's
and-
shorter and sweeter. We can list
We
them.
have to have them all.
And the
But
correct answer is all of
And-
the above.
I
Yes.
think beach cleaning should be one of the items that should be questioned, like, I'm not sure.
But that'll make them aware of everything we do. And, they could, some people could say, oh, yeah, they just do clean up beach, A and B or whatever. And just
Yeah.
all of the above is the answer.
All of the above is the correct answer. That
Yeah.
will be an obvious one. They see all these bullet points. So
Yeah,
instead
we
of-
just have to make them a little
That's very.
more condensed.
Yeah, that's very wordy.
Okay.
Great. So,
We could actually list those and have one that isn't like leaf blowers or something, which I thought was an important part of our duties, and I found out it's not our duty at all to stop those horrible things as the gas leaf blowers. But we have a list of the things that the committee does. Please list the one item, and we can have like 5 items, or list one item. What is the one item that the Environmental Preservation Board does not work on? And they have to,
that we're not, sadly not allowed to
Yeah,
work on.
this way they have to read it,
So
then they
political
learn our
pressure.
duty, then they know our duties and they think, which one isn't it? Which one is it not?
I mean, yeah, I like the idea of giving some political pressure. So the answer is we do not cover leaf blowers. Very sadly, we're very disappointed, but we cannot because we don't have the power to do that.
Right, and so I think it would be a tough question. I think
I like the idea. I like the idea.
Now we got to figure out how to shorten that.
So what is the commission not doing? Not empowered? And the correct answer is leaf blowers. And then we,
The incorrect answer.
the leaf blowers is the correct answer because we're.
She says not.
Oh, where did I?
Because not, because the
Oh,
answer,
okay,
the
right.
question is not.
Right.
Leaf blowers will be the correct answer. Then we need two incorrect answers.
I would just do a true or false on that one.
Or it's true or false.
I think if we can name some of the things like protection of the sand dunes and a couple of the other items on the list. Beach cleaning.
I think I like the true and false idea because it's very clean.
It's a good way to end it.
Yeah. True or false.
But how many true or false questions? have there been?
Just this one. So now we have 4 questions, but that's okay.
Okay.
Because then the people will realize, oh my God, they do not have the power to discuss leaf blowers, and that's very frustrating. So we can talk to them about it and say, well, go to the commission, bring it up. We've already tried, we failed.
No,
So the more people that go to the
Sure.
commission, bring it up.
but it's gas leak.
Yes.
I like the idea of the handout, if we could do that, maybe on a little one pager. With the last 2 questions being relative to it. Yeah,
You won't have it because you didn't, but sometimes papers are misplaced.
Yeah.
I'm happy to email, when I send you the contact information.
yeah,
Events, I'll include a copy of the powers and duties.
okay. great,
Perfect.
great.
We could just give it out to anybody that asks.
Yeah,
This is related to the thing, but the October and December event. But the last event did not have recycling containers. I know this is not related to our job, but how can, off the record, who can we approach, or how can someone approach someone on the board, on the town, about having a recycling container for plastics and cans? Because I see everybody throwing their stuff. There was no recycling containers.
Yeah, actually, I could send an email to Madison. I'm sorry, her last name is Noonan. She is I don't have her title, but she is assistant to the town manager. Yeah, executive assistant. I'll send her an email about the recycling containers, to see if that's something that could be available. I'll let her know that I'm assuming the board has consensus on that. If there could be some kind of containers available. And when she responds back to me, again, I'll put it in the email of what the response was. So I'll be happy to do that.
So I think we have questions and answers. So how do we want to get this done? Does somebody volunteer to write up the quiz? I'm happy to do it. This is pretty easy and quick. I can write it up and just share it with Town Planner Alan. And then we can comment by email individually to her, but we need to get it done the next.
Then it has to be make copies of it for the event.
Yeah, once we get it condensed, that's
Right.
easy.
I'm sure that town can probably make 30 or 40 copies of the final
How many,
quiz.
well, how many giveaways are you going to do? Because if you're just going to do one, or how are you,
But they each have a sheet to fill out, so they.
are you going to do a sheet?
Yeah, it's just one,
Yeah.
basically one page with the
One
4
page.
questions. They fill it in. with their
Okay,
name,
so
and they
as,
put-
yes,
That's 40 copies.
yeah. So, as you said, if you want to provide a draft,
Mhm.
you will email the draft to me,
Yeah,
given the, and then I will go ahead and email the board, give you a certain time period, 2-3 days, whatever, to provide comments. And then, send it back. And if there's no further comments, we could print those out. The sheets where you're saying people fill out, I could bring a few, 30, 40 copies to the event, and that's fine.
but we need to clarify the restaurant situation first. So do you want to clarify that in email?
Yeah,
Miss-
I'll clarify it on an
As
email.
soon as we know that it's okay, then.
You're gonna try to, because God knows,
Okay,
let's both
done.
try.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Now, I just want to say, I remember in the past, it's probably been a few years, I remember previous board chair wanted to do some sort of giveaway. It may have been at the Mingle Jingle, I'm not sure. They were thinking about doing like credit card, like gift card giveaways. And I remember the town manager had issue with that. So, as I do with every meeting, I will talk to the town manager, let them know of your intent to have like a lunch or dinner from a restaurant. I don't know that it's going to be an issue, but if it is, obviously I'll reach out to the board because there, as I said, with the gift cards, I remember that was an issue, but,
So
I'll advise the board accordingly.
Two of
Yeah.
us can volunteer and cook a dinner and bring it to the beach.
No.
Romantic beach dinner, serve.
People will be
No.
putting the wrong answers down on purpose.
I would not enter.
Good. So,
Okay.
but let's hope one of the restaurants will sponsor, because otherwise,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if they don't sponsor, then we will.
Yeah, and then that they approve it. So yeah, it's good to get us
Yeah, they approve it.
all around before we,
And
Okay.
If they, yeah, otherwise we have to come up with an idea of what they can win or get. Maybe a bottle of wine from your company, just.
Yeah,
one
that
of-
we're going through here next. This is
That's
my.
the same legally, that's the same problem.
Yeah,
You're kind of
yeah, yeah.
advertising
Bill-
a business.
okay.
I mean, it could be $50 voucher. It could be so so like, not a huge
Yeah, but
amount.
$50 is still it's worth filling out the. sheet.
I don't know. I mean,
We're just trying to make
get
awareness.
back
So
to
hopefully
us.
we can give something
Yeah,
away.
get some
Yeah.
interest and then when they're around there, then they see whatever other stuff we have.
so we had the quiz idea. That's great. Then if Chris Viegas is allowed to come, it would be great if we could do the same thing as last times, that you bring the copies that are laminated and we can show them the plants, the good and the bads.
I've got some lights that I brought up from the last one, they're in my closet.
The Christmas lights.
From the Christmas one.
That's for the December one, yeah.
Okay, so we don't need to bring that.
Nope, not in October. But I can
some
bring
Halloween lights.
decoration. We can bring some decoration. Everybody can bring some decoration. We have the material from the town. And literally, I think the most important thing is that we're there. We can speak to people. We have some of the materials. I personally like the Palm Beach County, the little flyer.
I think we still have some of those.
That would be great. That we have that. We can hand it out and show it.
And maybe we can get a poster board and put all those pictures on a little easel on a poster board so people don't have to come and go through the table, and if they're stuck, not blowing away, I
Right.
mean, that might work
That
too.
was a problem.
Yeah, it blows away.
Yeah, so maybe we could do that.
Yeah.
Just an idea. So as they're walking by, they see them and maybe they stop.
Does somebody volunteer to do an easel with some good and bad plants?
I can, if somebody gets me the pictures. So,
Yeah, I can definitely send you the pictures because most
Okay.
of them are on the website, but I can send it to you. And you could prepare the easel and just drop it off at the church the day before or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
I don't know about dropping the day before. I know that with the other events, I think the start time for setup was about 4. Again, I'll confirm that in the email. I'm just scared if you drop it off the day before, it may get misplaced or something. So maybe you want to bring it just that day of.
Earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a question. Do we have an easel here that we can use?
Not that I'm aware of.
No?
No.
Okay,
You can order them on Amazon.
okay. We will buy an easel.
Town can probably reimburse you for it.
Okay. Okay.
Probably not very expensive.
I
And then
I don't
we-
know. I'd
I
have
don't
to
have
check
any
with the
idea. I
town
haven't bought an
manager
easel in so
if we would be able to reimburse. Not sure. I could ask them.
So have we covered the most important items for December 4 and October 23? We're going to do the quiz. We're going to have an easel. We're going to have the documents. I think the last thing is who can be present. Just ballpark. I know on those days I cannot be there before 6 o'clock on both days because it's on a Thursday. So we need somebody to be there earlier to cover the early shift. Yeah,
What time does it start?
5 o'clock.
5.
So David is 5 o'clock. On both days. Yeah. Anybody else is available
I can do December 3rd. I have a conflict on the 23rd.
And you can be there. at 5.
23rd of October, I have a conflict.
Good, so
I'm gonna have to check my schedule. I don't have it with me, but I think it's.
Karen, are you?
I think it's okay on the 23rd. The 4th I'm looking at right now.
Are you available on those days? October
October,
23rd and December 4th,
December 4th?
December 4, yeah,
Or
and it's
I
5
can do the
p.m.
23rd, but not the 4th.
So Alan is on October 23rd.
This is for the event at the church.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're staffing,
They're
we're
both at the
staffing up.
church.
And what's on December 4th?
Mingle
That's
Jingle, the
Jingle.
bigger event.
So they're 1 week apart? Oh, just October and December.
Just, yeah,
I
it's a
forgot-
month,
Forgot about November.
6 weeks.
Karen, can you do December 4th or not?
I'm gonna try. I mean, I'll let you know. If I
Okay.
can't right now, it looks okay.
I think that December would work better for me. My daughter's gonna be in town. Sure, if I can-
Maybe she wants to come. Free booze, free drinks,
Yeah.
free nature, learning,
Free quiz.
free quiz, and free dinner eventually.
Well,
Great. So I think we have a plan. Anybody has any other comments, ideas for those two events? Sounds good. Then we come to the next item, which was actually on the agenda, is the discussion on the Delray Sands Dune event. That is in the Delray Sands Hotel, in the restaurant that they have. They have a big room that they give us for free. The event is on November 12th at 9:30. I put 9:30 down. We can change the time. We can say 8:30 or 9 o'clock. This was just a time that in the last meeting we thought is probably the best time for people to show up. Maybe we want to make it a little earlier so that it's a proper breakfast. The hotel will serve and what they call a continental breakfast. I think it was croissants, bagels, and with the fruits. It's quite nice. I don't really remember what's on the list, but it was a lot of nice little nibbles and coffee. The price is between $30 and $40 per person. The town has approved $1,200, which we're very appreciative. That's really amazing. Maybe it's going to be less. It depends on the people that are actually attending. There is valet parking there. People would have to pay $10. And I think we probably have to say that in the invite, just that people know the parking costs money, but the event is for free.
Mhm.
So the parking is $10 and that's mandatory. Unless you want to walk, you got to pay $10. But there is valet parking, and especially 9:30, no problem if 30 people come. In 30 cars, the hotel can manage that. So I think what we need to discuss is the time, like what we want to set as a time, and then we have a draft. We have a draft invitation to discuss.
What was the date?
That was on November 12th in the morning.
Sure. Yeah, just trying to see what I have.
It's on page
I
9 of
have
your
it down.
packets, page 9.
I did not print it, so I do have comments, but I only have those 2 pages here. Do you have it here, the print?
It's in your packets on page 9, the hard copy. Yeah.
On page 9. I don't have a package. I only have those. Thank you so much. Okay. So before we go to the invitation, another update on this event. So we have Dan Belante. He's a consultant for Teach Dunes. He's actually working for our condo, and he was working
He worked for us for the past probably 10 years. Yeah.
He's absolutely amazing. I mean, I cannot thank you enough for referring him to us. He's been working on our dunes for a year. He's very cost effective. He hires subcontractors. He's great. He knows everything. He's now also working on our driveway. He was so good with the dunes and so cost effective that our condo is now hiring him also to do all of the planting, because we had major construction, so everything is destroyed or had to be removed. So he's also helping with this. He's absolutely amazing. He's not charging for this. He's just coming and presenting. He has a presentation. His standard presentation where the residents can learn about dune restoration. So he's confirmed to attend. So that's great. So obviously we will have to mention him in the invitation. Which brings me to, shall we discuss the draft? The draft invitation? Yeah.
Yeah.
Any comments on this?
If I could chime in, I would suggest that you put something about an RSVP and contact information. I don't know if that's going to be, Chair Nessel, if you're managing that, for RSVP, people will be contacting you, whether you want it through your email or other contact information. You may also want to add that the event is limited to 30 people. And then, as you mentioned, the parking cost. And I was going to say on where there's a phone number where it says location Delray Sands. I don't know if that's the phone number of Delray Sands, but I wouldn't suggest putting the Delray Sand phone number because then people will call them to RSVP, and you don't want to confuse people. And I would also say where it says an event sponsored by Highland Beach Town Commission, I would remove Town Commission. The commission gave the board carte blanche when it came to educating the residents on dune restoration. So I would just put the event sponsored by it's actually the Natural Resource Preservation Advisory Board, rather than the Town Commission. And again, once you all come up with any changes, once those changes are provided to me in, a revised draft, I will provide that to the town manager. Obviously, he'll take a look at it and see if he is okay with it. And then we could, again, put it on our website. We'll do an email blast, the typical things that town does for these types of events. So by all means, if you want to.
Great
Continue.
points. You cover a lot that I was already would have covered. It's amazing. And then we also need to add Dan Delante as a speaker. Just that we have a speaker and an expert there, also for questions. So that's that. And then RSVP to whom? That's the question. I mean, you mentioned some of the board has to manage that.
Yes, as I mentioned at the previous meeting, when we had the Penthouse Towers, we had Elaine Prentice, who was a property manager. Everyone RSVP to her. It was her event.
Yeah.
So that's something that, that whoever is sponsoring it will manage that.
So because we have a new member, I'm sure you like to get a first task, Vicky. Are you okay with being the organizer? I mean, basically people would email you. They might have some questions about the event and I can help you with that. But if you want to kind of do the overall organization of who's coming and maybe create a spreadsheet that we know who's coming.
Sure, absolutely. Seems
That'd be
pretty
great.
straightforward. I'm happy to do that.
And then you would have to just give us the email that we put in there, your email, your
Okay.
private email. Because we don't have a town email here.
Okay.
We just use our private emails. Any other comments on the invitation? That was very nicely prepared by you. I mean, that was while you were still serving on the commission. Yeah.
Where is this posted? How do people know about this?
This will be emailed and it will also go into the manager's notes. Will it go into the manager's notes as well?
I think we'll make I have to check with the manager's office on the deadline, but it just says how quick you all can turn it around, make the revisions.
Yeah.
But I don't see an issue with getting it on the manager's minutes so long as we, get it quickly.
Well, you definitely want to have it in a manager minutes, I
Yeah.
would say. We want to.
Yeah.
So for that, just give us a deadline. We'll do it very quickly.
Yeah. I would also suggest where the location, with all due respect to Ms. Villegas, you did a nice job. The location, I think you should move it up, like you have date, event, purpose. I think it should be maybe date, event, location,
Yeah.
just so you have more, I guess, of a consistent flow there. And I noticed there's some little question marks at the top. I don't know if that was intentional. We have like question marks on each side. So,
Possibly.
yeah,
emoji or
I would
something.
suggest possibly just removing those. It may have been just a typo or whatever. Maybe when it was emailed to pick that up.
I would also make it less wordy, so no date event. So I would just say Wednesday, what is it? Where is it? Boom, location, and then what is it? but I wouldn't call it purpose or event.
Yes, and the time has to go right up there too.
Yeah, the time is, we call it
Yeah.
9:30 or is 9:30 a.m. good?
Yes, for me, everybody else.
10 is better. 9:30 is a little early.
Well, but people, people usually get up at 6 and work, so sorry.
Yeah,
People-
and they have breakfast like.
People work in Highland Beach? Haven't seen anyone that lives in Highland Beach working.
I mean, I don't know, but people need
I
to,
will.
people are busy, this is a breakfast. Who's
Yeah.
having breakfast at 10 other than,
People in Highland Beach.
I don't know.
Second breakfast.
You come late, you can always join us later that day. So you can have a lie.
No, I don't mind. I can get up in the middle of the night and come to the breakfast, but
Yeah. I personally think 9:30 is already on the late side for a breakfast, but because it's Highland Beach and I don't know what people do when they're retired, whether they sleep longer. I always think like people get up really early when they're older and are up already at 7.
by 9:45.
9:30, come on.
Okay, let's leave it at 9:30.
I just want to go to sleep tonight.
I'm happy to revise this invitation if that's a need.
That would be amazing because you're in marketing.
Yes.
And I think you can probably.
And you're
fix it
young.
up. I think you can make it more attractive.
Yes.
We're going to send you the Word file.
Okay.
So that would be great, Miss Allen, if you could send the Word file to Kiki Baxter. And then you could spice it up with these comments. I think that would be great. And you can also, I think from a decoration perspective, design, you can change that as well. Because obviously this is very nice, Chris, all respect, it was an amazing draft, but obviously she is a pro at this.
No, this is great. This is great.
No,
Not
I-
knocking you.
I love the picture.
Yeah, this is marketing for an event. So
Yeah.
we have the right person on board. Thank you so much, Kiki. That's great. So then let's get this out ASAP. So hopefully can we work on this in the next 48 hours?
Sure. Mhm.
Yeah. Any other comments?
Ms. Nessel, may I ask you, what time frame did you reserve with the hotel? Do you have an exact
That's a
time
good
frame?
question. I told them about 2 hours. We have the room, I think, till probably, that's another question regarding the time, probably till 12, 11:30. They might have a lunch and have to set up. I'm going to ask that at the
Okay.
point.
And also, you'll have to provide the town with some sort of contract so that we could process the payment.
So we have all of that, the contract we have signed, that went through the management office, so that's taken care of. It's just for the payment. But the contract is signed. Sorry?
Yeah, I'm sorry, when you say the contract has been through the manager, do you mean with the hotel?
Yeah, so there is a contract for this event that the
Okay.
town has signed.
The town signed it,
Yeah.
town manager?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah. I have to go and look it
Oh,
up,
okay.
but yeah, it was all the technical things, the legal things were done. So the contract was signed and all the payment information is there.
Okay, I was not aware of that. No worries.
Um,
So it was signed by the town manager. Okay. Do you know approximately when?
I can look it up.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
But I'm gonna call the hotel and ask them about the time. They're gonna give us the room, but we probably only need the room for 45 minutes. The idea is we meet in the room, we have the presentation, coffee and breakfast, and then we leave the room and then we go to the dune and then we're gonna be outside. So then they can set up the room, clean it and make it ready. So I would say we're probably out of the room by 10:30, latest 11, which would give them time to set it up for the next event if they have one at the same day.
Is there gonna be a
I would tell
presentation?
them 11.
Yes, there will be a presentation.
Is that a? I don't see it here with the event.
No, that's what I said.
That should
that
be
we have
added.
to add.
Oh, you added a presentation.
That's what I said today, that we need to add that Dan Belante will be a speaker and expert attending. And
Okay.
he will give us a presentation and also people can obviously then go and ask questions about their specific situation. They get some free advice. So that's this event. And I'm going to, once I have the answer from the hotel, what we need, I'm going to email this to Ms. Allen so she can share it with the board. Any other questions, remarks regarding this?
I have
event?
one. I just think we need to put a RSVP timing there so that people have some kind of sense of urgency and know that it's limited seating. You know, just so, because we only have 30 spots.
RSVP with a phone number.
I would make it end of October, October 31st, Halloween. I mean, it's just my
Yeah, good.
thinking.
Okay.
Please RSVP by a certain.
By October 31st, and then to Kiki, we get her email, then she can manage that. And then once it's full, it's full. I would, like an airplane, I would oversubscribe it because some people don't come.
Yeah.
So I would basically, in worst case, have 35, 38 people. So that at least, because a lot of
People
people
are
just,
off.
it's like an
Because
airplane.
it's so early, people are probably still sleeping.
So early, like
People
people
lose you, so.
hear the alarm clock. I want to have your life. I had 3 hours of sleep last night. Not because of glucose management, different issue. Not because of this meeting. Great. So I think, are we done with the November 12th Hotel Dunes restoration meeting? So then we can move to a much more exciting topic as agenda item 8.2, the discussion of the library wine tasting event. And I refer this matter to Karen.
Okay. All right, so I have some handouts because I'm technically challenged. So I'm going to give this, if you want to just take one, pass that down to her. I did find 2 Highland Beach residents that are willing to sponsor the wine. I'll just pass. I think that's easy. They are Highland Beach residents. They are willing to sponsor this at their cost. So, one is, okay, so I'll go through. I contacted Susie from the library. And she told me how many guests. I'm gonna give you one as well. Is there an extra one there?
There was an extra one.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna give it to one of you, so, okay, so, yeah. And I'll just read off. Okay, so in this, the first sheet is the wine distributor, the second sheet is the restaurant that's willing to do it, and the third sheet just has my notes. So I'm just gonna go from my notes and take each topic one at a time. Susie said the library can hold 40 to 50 guests for this event. And the next line is the wine distributor is RSWC. He is a local resident, Massimo Battista. He is a wine distributor. So what he does is supplies wines for the high-end, a lot of the high-end restaurants in South Florida, basically Palm Beach to probably Fort Lauderdale. All his wines are natural. There's no sulfites added. They're, natural grapes. The wine that he's bringing are a Prosecco, a white, if we do this, a red Super Tuscan, and a rosé for everybody to taste. So we don't want anybody to get really tipsy here. So I brought in, there is a restaurant called Italiano. I say Eat Italiano, but it's not really said like that. They are a small restaurant. He is himself and his wife. There's a little sheet in here that tells you about them. They will sponsor finger foods to complement each wine. So they'll get with Massimo and sponsor hors d'oeuvres. He was discussing like little rice balls, little pass-arounds, things that can complement each wine. So the wine tasting has 4 different wines. The appetizer will be 5 to 6 finger foods that will complement the wines that he is going to talk about and serve. Both have agreed to do the event at their cost. Of course, it should be an evening event. I'm suggesting 5:30, 6 o'clock. The event will be educational too on wines, and then we need to educate the people on the sea grape and the whole. So I have Dan, I've known for 10 years, agreed to come and make a presentation there about the sea grape and the shoreline and what plants are good and bad and the whole 9 yards. I'm suggesting a charge for this event because I don't know how much the town is going to kick in because his wines are not inexpensive, but they'll do it at the cost.
So question, what do you mean by they do it at cost? So we don't have to pay them. They're not asking for any.
No, they're doing it at their cost to
They
them.
are.
So if their wholesale cost, if a bottle of wine is $40 wholesale, they're doing it at the wholesale price, not at the $100 retail price. Or if the bottle of wine is $20 wholesale, they're doing it at that price opposed to the $60.
In what price range are they? I'm trying to figure out if they go,
He's-
they supply Palm Beach, I'm a little
I
bit worried
have,
of the success.
yeah,
of these.
I'm going to a wine tasting. The wines are in the back with no pricing. I have the whole thing here.
The other
But no
pricing,
pricing.
No, he's thinking it's gonna cost for the wine, average of $600 to $800. Depending on how much wine he needs to bring, how many people we have to do the tasting
Oh, $600 to $800 for the event.
for the event.
Mhm.
how would he know if he doesn't know how many people are gonna be there?
I said, that's what I said. He has to know by the people that are at the event. So he is estimating 600 to 800, but not knowing how many people are going to be there. I told him 30 to 50. So he is estimating.
If we make the price 20, 30 people, that's $600. That almost pays for it. If we make it the price $20. And I think people spend for one glass in Palm Beach, or half a glass.
$20. And yeah,
That's
15 was a
extreme.
low and it was ridiculous to me, but I just put it there just to, throw it out there to get the conversation going.
$20 a person for one
And-
tasting and food.
I'm also suggesting a raffle because he will raffle off a gift basket. So with the price of the ticket, if we raise it to $20, we can do a raffle with a gift basket. I also thought we could raffle off a sea grape plant if we wanted to, but anyway, well, this is about the sea grape. That's what we kind of talked about.
Yeah, the sea grape.
Grape,
Because it's
right.
grapes.
Yeah. So that's how we got the whole grape idea involved here. So,
I think you should have one bottle of sea grape wine though.
they do make it.
They do?
Yes.
It exists.
It's really
But it's a
bad.
joke.
They do make. So, inside that little package, you'll see an introduction to the people who will supply the food and also an introduction to the wine distributor.
It's such a sweet message. I'm gonna go and have dinner there one day.
Yeah, they're nice. They only serve breakfast and lunch, but yes. So
Is this in
they're
West Palm Beach?
Meisner Park.
Meisner Park. Okay.
My Royal Palm, sorry, it's right there in Royal Palm Plaza. But they are Highland Beach residents and they are excited to do the event and hopefully do it, they said sooner during season rather than later after season when we don't have everyone here.
Now, is this $20 a person? I mean, is there?
Yes, it's going to probably be what we have to decide. When we have to decide what the town wants to do and we have to decide, this is just,
So
I do have two people who are willing.
we have maximum 50. I would make it capacity 50, so maximum 50. The price is 20. So if everything goes well and everybody shows up, we have $1,000. We can definitely cover the cost of
Of the wine. Yeah.
the wine.
Yeah, and the food, I don't think is going to be very, much. They're excited to get their name out there. That's a new place. They're Highland Beach residents. They're happy to help the community. I don't think the food would be,
How much are they charging for the wine and the food? Is it a fixed price?
it's not official. The price is not official because we don't have the number of people.
Okay.
And it's their cost to them. What it costs them to put the food to us and the wine.
Well,
No.
I
But
think
we-
an exact number would be better.
Well, we don't have an exact number until we make a decision if we're going to do this and how many people we're going to allow. So if we're going to allow 50, then I can get an exact number for 50. If we're going to allow 30, I can get an exact number for 30.
If they're talking about costs, the exact cost of the food and the wine, then, it doesn't matter how many people there are. It costs them $10 or $15.
No, you got to have enough wine for everyone. You have to have enough sample finger food for everyone.
Right,
Yes, so everybody's going to get a taste of each wine.
right.
And he's going to describe the wine and talk about the wine. So you have to have enough for either 30 people or for 50 people.
So the.
Or for 40 people.
Or a minimum of 30 people, is that?
Yeah, well, we just have to see what we want to do
Well,
here.
the question is, how do they do it? Say if we plan
Each-
50 and only 30 come, do we then have to pay for 20 more or not? I think with the wine, it's relatively simple. We pay for the opened bottles, which basically means they're only opening a new Prosecco if more people want to taste the Prosecco. And there's only 3 or 4 bottles, so it's not going to be that dire.
Right.
So the wine cost is what we consume. With the food, it's a little bit trickier because they have to know, is it 30 people or 50? There we have to obviously order food for say 40.
They're making it. So yes, so if I give them a cap of 50 people, then I can get a price. I didn't know what we wanted to do, so they can't give me a price. They're gonna do it at their cost. So if we cap it, we sell so many tickets. I think for sure we're gonna sell a lot of tickets for this event, but
Could you ask them, can you just, we don't know how many people, can you just make it $20 per person? And if there's 30 people, it'd be $600.
It's-
It'd be 40,
it's-
it'd be
yeah,
because the food cost is the same. Did they just less food or more food? And why?
I haven't got that far with them. So as soon as we make a decision, I can do that.
Okay.
So how many people do we want? 40?
Mean maximum number? of
Yeah.
people?
Because 50 is the capacity of the library. That's a lot of people. We could say
Where
40.
is it gonna be? Is it gonna be?
Library.
It's gonna be here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there's a restaurant. Okay. Nice.
So shall we say 40 people?
I
And
think
we
40
can take
people
it
because,
like
because you're counting 40 people and then all of us are going to be there as well. So
this. I think 40 is good.
is the max, I think.
And I would also ask them for their price list because we need to know. I mean, this sounds like a very expensive wine company. People might.
He told me it was going to be $600 to $800.
No, the total, but if I want to buy a bottle of wine.
You could,
well,
okay,
then
here's the other
I
thing.
want
You can only buy the wine by the case because he's a distributor. So he's not coming here to sell his wine. He's coming here to do an event for us. And, you know, so you could buy the wine by the case and he can only take orders because you cannot sell wine.
Oh, yeah,
at
of
an
course,
event.
Of course.
So he could take orders for the case.
So then the case is 6 or 12 bottles.
Yeah, 6 or 12.
6 or 12. So I would say find out the size of the case, which makes the bottle price. So say a bottle is $150 wholesale. I'm out. That's a type
They're
of
not
wine I
$150
drink.
wholesale. If he's
Just
telling
kidding,
me
just
6 to 800, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
that's
in.
cool.
Base
I'm
price.
in. More expensive.
So I
than
would
most
say,
of
let's find out what the pricing is. But yeah,
I do have the whole price sheet here, but I just didn't.
but the price is not on it.
No,
Oh,
that's nice. Yeah.
that looks posh.
Do you have an extra packet of all this handout? Because I didn't receive it.
Okay.
So I'd like to
I
share
gave
with
one
the town
there.
manager.
I
Oh, okay.
shorted you because my printer stopped printing,
Okay,
but I will give you mine
okay.
and I will give you the actual wine sheet.
So are they giving the price list?
Because I have it.
The wholesale price? Are they giving us the wholesale price? Or-
Yes,
That's what she's going to
Yeah.
ask.
yes.
But if we wanted to buy their wine,
Oh, that, I don't know if they give you the wholesale price when you buy it, but they're giving it to us wholesale at the event.
that'd be good to know.
So when do we want to do this event? Because we have one in October, we have the December one. We have 2 events and we have November in the hotel. So I think for this year, we're already sold out with nature preservation. We're doing really well with the new members. This is awesome that we have so many events, especially with wine. That's I personally suggest season, but more like January, February. January is a dry month, so maybe February.
February would be great.
And what kind of day in the week were you thinking, Aaron? Friday? Was it drinking?
Friday's a good day because the next day is Saturday and most people,
People work, again, people work in Highland Beach, don't forget.
I didn't know that.
There are
I
some,
learned something today.
I'm just kidding. But even the golfers, they need to get up and they can't be drunk the night before.
From the rest.
There
was a little other. Thank you.
Is Friday a good day or what does everybody think? Or Thursday maybe, or?
I think Friday's perfect for wine and food. and what do you
So a
think?
Friday, and would that work for the town? Because it's kind of Thanksgiving
I have to
weekend.
check with the library staff. Just actually a few questions. I thought that this event, you all wanted Aptum, which was a consultant that did the beach feasibility study. You know, the event that you had in November came to the I guess it was library. And he did an overview of the property evaluation that was part of that beach feasibility study. I thought you all wanted him to come back.
Yeah,
and
if you
present
see
that
there-
part, but I know that you mentioned Mr. Belanti to
Yeah,
come. So
but if you
whatever-
see there, I said, if we have another suggestion, great, because I couldn't remember that gentleman's name. So I
Okay.
wrote there, if the board suggests someone else, that would be great
Oh,
too.
okay.
I just didn't remember
Yeah.
his name.
Yeah,
off
because
the
I had
top.
reached out to Aptum when you all initially suggested it, and he said that he would be willing to come. I mean, but I told him I don't know the date yet. But again, it's what the board desires.
So that would be Doug Mann, right? The gentleman, Doug Mann.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Doug Mann,
I mean,
right.
I personally was thinking this is an even separate event, but if we can combine it, that's great. That's
Combine, so you want Dan Belante and Aptum?
No, I
Doug
think
Mann?
only one.
Okay,
One.
which one you
I
decide
mean,
what
Doug
you,
Mann would be.
so I could advise the
fantastic.
commissioner, the town manager, sorry.
I personally think Doug Mann would be fantastic because we asked him to do an event. And he was already speaking about the property values of the shoreline. He was doing all the study about the.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name, so I just went,
Yeah.
suggest someone else, that's great.
But
So-
remember, the event on November 12th of 2024 was more focused on the beachfront property valuations. You know, what is the current condition of the dunes, site-specific on each property on the beach, and what the recommendations are. It was really that part. It wasn't
Yeah.
to really go back through the whole feasibility study, and, you know, the commission didn't give direction. So, yeah. And as far as, I mean, we'd have to coordinate with the library. Again, the library's closed. That's in the evening. As with the November 12th event of 2024, we didn't have anyone sponsoring it, like you are suggesting a restaurant come in. You know, typically the town paid for some nice munchies and what have you. So again, I would have to discuss all this with the town manager. We've not had a sponsorship like this before, so I don't know what the town manager's thoughts would be on it. And then, you know, this possible cost of $600 to $800 for the event, and the fact that people will be, you know, trying to sell their wines. These are all things I have to obviously touch base with him on.
Can I just
Yeah.
interject?
Yes,
He
of course.
doesn't necessarily want to sell wine. He said
Okay.
if people want to buy wine, it's by the case. He doesn't like to do it at the event, but he said
Okay.
if people would like to, I could take orders for after the event. But that's not the purpose.
Okay,
Yeah, just so you know.
thank you.
He wants to help out. He's a resident. They're both residents. The restaurant would just like to make, you know, finger foods and pass arounds to complement the wines, just to
Yeah.
get their name out there
Yeah.
because they are a new restaurant and they're residents of Highland Beach. So
Is it name the restaurant in the
Yeah.
back?
Again, I'll be glad to run it through the town manager. Also, just for your information, I have the sign-in sheets from the November 12th, 24 event, which again was prepared by Mr. Doug Mann. That event was in the manager's minute. It was email blasted. It was on the town website. And I'm counting the amount of people that signed up. There was 12 residents, not including 2 board members that attended. I mean, that's not to say you won't have more for this one, but it's just food for thought. Again, that one was very publicized, and we did only have 12. So just,
residents.
again, food for thought as you move forward and, you know,
All the
deal with
ones.
this potential project.
That was the event we had, 1 or 2.
Event, sorry.
With
What
Mr. Mann.
was the day of the week on
I
that?
wasn't here.
Pardon?
The day of the week?
November 12th, it was during the week and it was in the evening. I could pull up the invite.
I remember there was nibbles and water.
Yeah.
So there was food. So if people come straight from work or are hungry, there was.
So this,
Yeah,
this
because
event is
it
$20
matters.
per person?
We don't know yet.
Because I'm just wondering if people say, we don't want to spend $40 tonight. I don't know how many people will attend. Maybe it should be free, or you can get a sponsor or something, someone.
I mean, you really can't give away free wine. It's expensive. You want to give
Well,
water and food away?
Well,
Yeah.
no, it's $20, you said it's $20 a person, so.
Well, we didn't, that's not written in stone. That's just something we're discussing. We're trying to figure it out. So I originally said 15 on here, but it's not written in stone. This is just suggestions to try to get this event organized.
I believe there was a Wednesday night, November 12th, and it was at 6 PM.
Thank you.
I think if we make it, that's why we said, and now I actually
Fri-
remember.
Friday. We said Friday?
Friday.
Yeah.
The whole idea came up, how do we push this event? The wine, that's how the wine.
Okay.
idea came. with the sea grapes.
Yes, to get more people.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
let's give it a try. Maybe this is a very successful model and we have 200 people signing up. Yeah, we have wait lists for the next one.
Yeah.
You can dream.
So I think we have a couple of questions that need to be clarified with the town. And Miss Allen, I'm assuming you get back to us and then we can discuss, finalize this event at the next meeting.
Yeah, as I
Yeah.
said, I'll reach out to the town manager, get his thoughts on this, and we'll put it on the next agenda, next meeting.
Good question. Having in November,
Okay, we're talking about,
then we have time.
no, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When
What
is the next meeting? Good question.
have it in front of me.
November 5th.
Okay, so, and we were thinking about February for this event, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
a Friday in February.
So this is on the agenda for the November 5th board meeting. And then we have plenty of time to organize it for February, but that's for your wine company Friday night in February,
Mhm.
$20 price, and we need to have the wholesale, the prices for the bottles
Yeah. And the food.
and the food, yeah. But worst case, the food, we can just do what the town always does, just their platters that they supply.
Yeah, I mean, these are just gonna be finger foods too, so I'll get him to, explain the whole 9 yards to me.
Whose fingers are gonna use?
Not mine.
Great, so any other ideas, suggestions for the wine tasting event?
Anyone?
Great, so then we can move to the next agenda item, which is under unfinished business, agenda item number 3, discussion on beachfront condo associations. I do have a spreadsheet with all these associations that we talked through. I only have one really good update. 45 Ocean, they're on the south end of Highland Beach. There used to be the very ugly 2 big orange towers. They have renovated themselves.
Right.
They're restored to white. They look much better. The new pool, everything looks amazing, but the residents are frustrated about the beach. So I spoke to the president of the condo association, and it looks like they're willing to spend money on planting sea oats along their horrible seawall. There's nothing they can do to go back to 1971 and remove the seawall. It's there. But what I said is if they plant sea oats and other native plants, and they're going to look at our property, Parker Highland, which is literally almost neighbors, and the board is going to come and visit us to see it, what we planted. We have planted much more than just sea oats. It looks amazing. I told them your budget is a few $1,000s for the plants, and then the planting, they have a charity for children high school age that have problems, and that actually one of the board members is a board member of that charity, so they're inviting those children to do the work. So similar to our condo, which did it with St. Andrews middle school and high school kids, they also have a charity helping them. So labor is for free or almost for free. They hopefully will use Stan Delante as well.
That's very nice.
That's
very nice.
Very nice of him to help there as well. So that's really my good news. I'm going to meet with them again in a week or two. Once they had their own meetings to discuss it, and then we're going to start planning, and hopefully by November 5, and we meet next, I'll have some great news about what's happening in 45 Ocean. This is a really big condo, of probably 1,000 or more feet of shoreline, probably 2,000, I don't know, but it's very long shoreline. Absolutely disgusting seawall.
It's terrible looking.
And
That's
he's-
where the wine man lives.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So we can work on him with that too.
Yes.
Can they put something in front of the wall, like sea grapes, so at least it'll block the wall? Or something.
That's what they're trying to do. Yes.
Rather than sea
Sea
grapes.
grapes will not even survive there.
Well,
Because
No.
that's so exposed to the elements,
Yeah.
and you have a wall behind the sand and the
What else
silt.
could they put there?
Sea oats, and then all sorts of little plants. They look like little what are they called in English? Gosh, I have a vocabulary problem now. But like yellow, like brown in the middle, and little yellow leaves.
there's like sunflowers. They're called something now.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
There's a lot of little nice options.
Yeah.
And they
And they
will
grow great, the sunflowers, because I have them in my dune. They just
they grow,
spread.
they spread, yeah, they have a lot of creepers that creep, that make the whole area green, and it will accumulate sand. It will, I mean, we can see it in our condo, it already has accumulated within the few months that we have planted the sea oats. You can already see the difference where the sand goes down, where the sea grapes are not accumulating any sand.
Yeah, I have a comment about this discussion of the beachfront condos. I've noticed that some of the condos are putting their beach chairs on the
Yes,
dune, and on the.
yes,
on the
that's horrible.
plants and whatnot. Now, can we contact them and say, you need to move them back? I mean, is that appropriate for us to do? Because the condo right next to the Wiltshire House, just right between the Wiltshire House and the restaurant, has all their beach chairs piled on top of the plants.
Yeah,
And
same thing here in the south,
So,
same thing.
are we allowed to contact them, or how should we approach this? Because they're really destroying the.
Yeah, so I was just trying to pull up the last few manager minute publications, because being at sea turtle season, we put several articles and diagrams about beach furniture, what to do and what not to do with actual photographs. So it's been in the last few publications, I think the last 3 or 4. I mean, I could talk to our building official. I don't know what's within the parameters of our code enforcement officer, but I could, talk to him about it.
Since we're on the preservation committee, can we call them up and say,
No.
I'm a representative of the.
Your role is not of enforcement. We have a code enforcement officer. If there are specific regulations in the code that you're not supposed to put furniture, I'd have to look at the code. Then that is the role of our code enforcement officer to enforce the town code, not per se the board
So how do
members.
we get the town enforcement officer to start enforcing the code?
Well, I have to check the code. I'll be happy to give a courtesy reach out to the building official to look at our code. But again, that's maybe more of an education for the condo managers. It may be something you put on your to-do list as a board, maybe do some flyers or other outreach that you might want to consider in the future. I mean, you have a lot on your plate right now, but that may be something that you all want to organize to advise the
So that,
condo
so that
members.
was my original question. Can we just call them and say, we're not busting you, we're not giving you a ticket or anything, we're not, it's not the law, but we're not the law, we're just the preservation committee, we'd like you to move your chairs off of the plants in a nice way, without, I mean, we're in the preservation.
You can
committee.
speak to whomever you'd like to speak to, right?
You can do it as a private individual.
Yes.
As a private individual,
What
that's what
about
I did
on
with
behalf
my
of the-
neighbor.
on behalf of the
But they
committee?
said they have no space. Their excuse was this is a big condo, very big condo, close to where I live. And their excuse was the waves sometimes come back, they can only put it there, they have a very flat beach.
But
and,
it's
they
also
have all
their
sorts of
property.
excuses.
It's also private property when you're up above the mean high water line.
But
I mean, you can make them aware.
you can't beat your wife, you can't beat your husband on private property, right? You can't do things that are improper on private property.
You could just make them aware. That's all you could really do.
But we could change the code.
Yeah.
That would be a great,
Well, they
great
made me
method,
take a sign. Oh, I'm not going there, but whatever.
you
Code
know.
enforcement.
Mr. Newman, I think, as I said earlier, I'll be happy to reach out to the building official. If we have provisions in our code about that, then that's something the code enforcement officer can go out. We can't have board members, knocking and saying, well, I'm on the board and, this is what you should, it's just, again, we have certain code requirements. We could take a look if there's anything about the chairs. I don't recall off the top of my head. And if there is something in the code that some condo is violating, then we have a code enforcement protocol.
And if not, there should be, right? But how do we, if there's, can you tell me if there is something on the code? Can you find out if there is?
If you would like to send me an email requesting that, I'll be happy to look into it. Yeah, I typically, don't take direction from the board, but if you would like to send me an email, asking me about any specific code regulations, I'll be happy to look it up and provide you a response.
Why do you want an email? I'm just telling you, I'm asking you right now. This is my email.
Right. Again, the board typically doesn't direct staff. My role is as a liaison, to guide the board. Just to be sure, yeah,
Request.
absolutely, absolutely. Just to be sure I get the clarity from you as to exactly what you would like, then I would suggest that you provide me an email. I believe you have my email because I've sent things to the board, but I'll be happy to give you my email after the meeting. I prefer to get an email so it's very clear. I don't want to have any loss in translation, so I do think that's appropriate. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. So I think we have discussed, I'm just trying to figure out any other events that we need to discuss. Sorry, not events, condo association. So I have mentioned 45 Ocean. This is going well. I can also mention Parker Highlands, our own condo. We are still restoring our dunes. We have Dan Belante and his team planting as we go. Every month we're planting. We will have a fantastic property to show in a couple of months. And would be willing to host an event, obviously subject to board approval. We can host an event. The only problem we have is parking. So once Milani Park gets built, we can host an event up to 40 people.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, I know. It's a sad topic. Any other updates on discussions with condo associations? And I think for Chris Viegas, I think it's best if you just update us individually, because you're not a member of this advisory board, so we can communicate. You can update us individually. I think that's great. Great. So then the next agenda item would be discussion on other future events. I think we've discussed all events, so we're done with the events. That brings us to beach cleanup. Agenda item 8B, beach cleanups. We have a manager minutes draft for the bucket trees on our beach. I don't know if people have been able to review it. This is a draft just to remind people how the bucket tree system works, that you cannot just walk with the bucket tree half a mile and put it at another place, that you should come back to where you picked it up. And yeah, so that's basically the document that we would put in the manager's minutes. It will go in the next manager minute if we make a decision today on what we would want to change. Any recommendations, changes?
Is there could we get a logo of some kind to put on the buckets? I know this seems kind of a little bit not a major issue. I talked to the bucket man, and he said, well, just write on there, Island Beach buckets.
Buckets should have your logo.
They gave me buckets, and the buckets have nothing on them but the plastic. They don't have any signage.
No, that's how they look like. You see it on the picture.
I know, but I went to the bucket office and he gave me two plain buckets and said, you can write on the bucket whatever you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it would just be nice for us to have a little logo or something like that, whatever, something to show that it's Highland Beach.
It should.
But
We do have the logos. You could see the pictogram on page 11. It shows you, how to actually pick up. And then there's a separate logo. There's two, they're weather resistant. I'm not sure. Yeah.
They told me they were out of logos.
Oh, okay. So I'm sure he will reorder them.
He said he didn't say he was going to reorder them. He said, just write on the bucket whatever you want.
Okay.
Not whatever you want, but you could write pick up trash, whatever you want to write on the bucket. But so I distributed some buckets, but the buckets have no logo on them. They're just buckets. And they're still there. In fact, I moved one a couple of days ago because it had been moved down to a different location. I put it back to where it was. And it's
Well-
not a big deal, but it seems like it would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, we purposely got those ordered.
I don't
It's
know
our
how
public-
to get out of them because there's only, how many bucket trees are there?
We have several bucket trees throughout the town in different condos. I know they've been replaced a few times. People, they break or they take them. Our Public Works Department actually manages the bucket trees and the buckets. So I'll be happy to reach out to the director and let him know that you were told just to write on the bucket, because again, the town does have those logos and the pictogram. Again, it may just be a matter of reordering them, but those were approved by the commission back in 2021.
They
So
told me they were not going to reorder and just to write on the bucket.
I'll be glad to reach out to the Public Works Director.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think it's helpful if it has the logo on it, for sure. It makes it more official. So any comments on the document? I personally would remove the "That's it, easy beach cleaning fun." I would remove that. Just to make it, I would make it, try to make it less wordy so people can actually will read it.
Where
I
are
don't
we?
know, we have Kiki, our marketing expert here. I find it very wordy, but it's very sweet. It has a lot of information on it. And it's always very hard to make things shorter, but they still have the same message. So while we have the expert here,
Hey, come on.
any ideas?
I could take a look at a redesign to make it more visually prominent.
That would be
I can play around with it, yeah.
It's not that complicated.
I think that would be amazing. If Kiki could just make it visually more attractive, and also if you want to shorten it a little bit, whatever you recommend, Kiki, to attract the human eye, because we want people to read it.
Sure.
But I think the messages, the content is amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to prepare that. And I like the pictures because it shows the logo and it shows the bucket. Personally, I like the pictures.
How about let's get trashed in Highland Beach.
Well, we have the marketing expert, so I would leave it to her, whatever.
What do you think? Let's get trashed in Highland
We
Beach.
can spend 15 hours here.
You're very clever.
No, it's clever.
Or,
The Mrs. Allen, will you send to Kiki Baxter the Word
Yes,
files?
the file.
Marketing,
Thank
perfect.
you.
have another one, Daughters and Sons of Beaches. We are the daughters and sons of beaches.
Appreciate that.
All right, never mind.
So that's good. So that's great because we have an absolute expert here.
That's good for them.
So that's regarding the manager's minute that we're going to publish there. I have a quick update on the beach cleanup from St. Andrew's School. They're working on the timing. I haven't heard. They're just very busy, but the plan would be to have St. Andrew's School come and help with beach cleanups, but I don't have a date and details yet, but that's just something that's still in the pipeline.
Okay.
And then 45 Ocean, that condo will also do a beach cleanup at their beach when they do the planting. So that's kind of a little bit of both. Any other beach cleanup updates? No?
Well, I have one comment. This has to do with the tractors that go on the beach.
Yeah.
There is a way to stop them. And they did this in New York City. They call it a visual nuisance. And because by putting those tracks on the beach, they're creating a visual nuisance. So it's not on our property, but we can see it from our property. Or you can see it from the beach when we're sitting in our beach chair. And it would take it could be a class action lawsuit or we could threaten them with that.
People pay them.
I know, but they're paying them, but they could also put a rake behind the tractor and they're not doing that. So they're basically creating a nuisance by putting those ruts on the beach. And I think that's a real interference with people's enjoyment of the beach, and it's not necessary. All they have to do is put a right behind there. and they would be
It
pissed.
bothers me too. I'm very much against these beach rakers. Our
You'd be part
condo,
of the class. and
I would be
decide-
part of the, not a class action, but but that's a private thing that you would have to organize. As a private individual, talk to every beach owner who hires these companies, whether they want to club together. It's not a class action. It's just a letter of 40 different residents
Hmm.
asking them. But they have a license from the town, because the legal situation is then they have a license.
They don't have a license from the town. They have a license, a permit from FDP, Florida Department of Environmental Protection.
State level, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the beach raking, it's not on the agenda, beach rakers, so you should not be talking about it because it's not on the
That
agenda.
would say,
Yeah,
you're a
The
lawyer.
next agenda?
No, we cannot, because we're not.
not within the parameters of the board.
Not within.
And the commission has not given direction to the board to discuss it. I mean, sometimes that happens. There's a very long history about beach rakers. A commission had a few years ago, both beach raking companies come before them. And if you recall, it was either earlier this year or last year, the town manager came to your meeting and talked to you about the whole thing with the beach rakers. He did provide a letter to the beach rakers with, some concerns. But again, these are agreements between the property owner and the beach rakers. So again, it's not something that's within the parameters of the board, and the commission is not giving you the direction to discuss it or analyze it. So we do have to respect those parameters. Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
think-
privately, you can absolutely do it, absolutely speak to all the neighbors. But not as a nature, natural resource preservation
the-
advisory board, not in that capacity.
Thank you.
But we're on the same page. They bother me every day.
Yeah.
Like the leaf blowers as well. Board members updates, last agenda item under, old business. Are there any other board members that have additional updates, topics? No? Great, so then we come to the new business, dog waste stations. I refer this matter to Karen, you brought it up last time.
I haven't really researched it that much. I did take pictures of some dog waste stations that are in different neighborhoods around. And I don't think the street is anywhere near done to put dog waste stations yet. So I will look into it a little further on what the cost is and everything else, but I think we have another 6 months of at least street work. Yes, I think we should, because the street is not anywhere, but I can try to get some information on it from different
The
places.
question is, in this commission, do we support dog waste stations or do we not support it? I actually put it a little bit in AI. I love to kind of talk to AI about these things. And what AI said is, if you don't have a problem, then you don't need publicly dog waste stations. A1A is pretty clean. So
I don't know
there's no
about
dog
you,
waste.
but I've stepped in dog poop on A1A before.
This is
Yes,
on the
yes.
sidewalk?
Huh?
On the
On the sidewalk, yeah.
Because it's
I mean,
visual, when you drive, it's so beautiful with the palm trees and it's so natural. And then you've got all these buckets and all these.
We,
well, it's not a big, they're not big
we
stations.
just recently installed 3 or 4 of them at our association, and they're actually green and they're not too obtrusive, so they kind of blend in with the
blend in.
greenery, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're intrusive at all. I think
No.
they kind of blend in. You can get really nice looking ones.
Yeah.
And I just think it would benefit.
So you would have to
Community.
eat the bushes, not where the trash can is, but somewhere in between the trash can.
Yeah,
in
you
the
put them in
bushes,
a place that's kind of
a little bit.
nondescript.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But
I'll find out which ones they purchased and
that would be great.
present the information.
Be great.
Yeah, we have it in our condo. It's being used, but it's rusting. So every 6 months we have to replace it.
Okay. Wow.
It's rusting and it looks awful. And then we have residents complaining.
Yeah.
So then we have.
Well,
to
we can't get
replace
one that
it.
rusts.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Make sure they're high
Yes.
quality ones that do
Yeah.
not rust
Yeah.
because it will not look
Mhm.
good.
If I could just add to this, so if the board decides, if there's consensus about this, then the protocol is that you would make a recommendation to the commission. I've talked about this before. There's a memorandum and you would have to provide with the who, what, why, where you want all this. And then that would be presented to the commission. The chair may want to present it at a commission meeting. We could talk about that. And then it'll be determined by the commission if they want to move forward. So you'll make the recommendation and then they will determine. So.
Gotcha.
That would be great, Karen, if you want to prepare that.
Yeah, and if I can get some information from everyone, you know, to,
And can
we'll work, we'll kind of work a little bit together. Yep, okay.
That's good. Yes, the dog holder, I find very convenient, obviously, that's great. Excellent. So I think we are done with the agenda. So then we have the last announcement, September 18 at 5:01 p.m. We have the Town Commission second public hearing budget meeting. October 7, 1:30, Town Commission meeting, and October 9, 9:30, Planning Board meeting. So we would move to adjournment. The meeting is adjourned at 12:40.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.